Hello, 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 and welcome to another edition of Conservative Nation on this beautiful Tuesday morning, ladies and gentlemen, 10:40 a.m., January 8th, 2019. How's everybody doing? Hopefully everybody is doing well. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in a brand new year, and it should be a brand new you. So thank you for everybody who is joining us today on Conservative Nation. Make sure you guys go ahead and do me a solid, and you guys already know what that is, right? You already know what I'm about to ask. I need you guys to hit that like button. Yep, it's right there, right in front of your face. I mean, gosh darn it, you can't miss it, right? And then go ahead and compliment it with a share, ladies and gentlemen, because that is the only way we can beat the new algorithms that are being pushed out by these tech companies. All right, that's the only way we can do it. We need your help, so help me help you guys. All right, so thank you. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, give me a quick second. I got to do some sharing. I've been a bad guy. My producer and everybody else been saying, Jermaine, you hardly share. I always have to blah 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 blah. Let me share, all right, before I get in trouble by a lot of fans and a lot of people. All right, so give me a quick second here.
Visionary music.
Got the sharing out of the way. How's everybody doing? Hopefully everybody's doing fantastic today, because ladies and gentlemen, I'm feeling great. So we're going to have a fantastic show, let me tell you. I got a beautiful lineup for you guys, so make sure you guys go ahead and share. Let me go ahead and check out who is watching, right? Got to. Shout out to Pam Lane. Shout out to Amber Daphne, as usual. Shout out to Robert Bertram. Shout out to Helen Latour. Who else do we got here? You know, we got to make sure that we get everybody here in the mix. Shout out to my boy Reginald. And shout out to Teresa. So we're all good. And also, ladies and gentlemen, I have a new Conservative Nation Raw 4. It's a new streaming channel that we put out. For the people who are not privy to what happened to my other channel, some leftist loon and some crazy folks went and flagged my channel. And because of that nature, ladies and gentlemen, I have been banned from live streaming on there for 90 days. Yes, 90 days. And they blame it all on a video called Trump and Midterm Elections. Now, I want to play that video for you guys, but they'll be on a different day. I don't know what I said in that video that got me banned for 90 days, but my goodness gracious, I don't care. As long as the truth is out there, ladies and gentlemen, that's all that matters, let me tell you, all right? So, with that being said, let me go ahead. We got people asking me on Periscope what the deal is with the Fatherless Generation documentary. And I want to let you guys know, I have been, for a while, if you've been following me, I've been speaking about fatherlessness here in America, right? Every gosh darn video I show you, there's some crazy kid, right? You know, when the black kids get shot and they're in the mamas on the news, what is my response, ladies and gentlemen? Where's the daddy, right? Where's the daddy? That should be a tagline for me. right? Where's the daddy response? And let me tell you guys something. I have been speaking to men and women across this nation, compiling stories, ladies and gentlemen, so that I can bring to you the truth of what is really going on here in America and what is really near and dear to our hearts. So, this project I've been working for a while on, and I need your guys' help. As you guys can see here, we got $5,000 already in the kit for it, right out the gate, right? $5,030 right out the gate. I need $20,000. Being honest, and I need it for video editing, traveling so I can do some picture shoots and shoot some high profile folks. I need it for contracting work, getting this fatherless generation website up, because I'm trying to make a difference, ladies and gentlemen, in a lot of people's lives. And you may be listening to me who've grown up in America here without a father, and you've blamed everybody else, right? Except for what the real issue is, which is the culture and our legislation and laws. So my video, ladies and gentlemen, this documentary is going to the heart of that, and I need your guys' support. Let me go ahead and go to my fundraiser here, and I want to show you guys this before I begin the show here. So bear in mind here. All right, let me go ahead and transition. So as you guys can see here, Fatherless Generation, right? It's a documentary, and it says this documentary will show the struggles of families across America who suffer from not having a father in the home. It will show how legislation promoted and endorsed by the Democratic Party forces fathers out of the home, creates division between parents, and destroys children's lives, right? And funds a system that keeps people in bondage. The funds will be used to buy equipment, travel expenses, video editing, sound editing programs, photo software, website contractors, and a whole bunch more, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you, when I started this project a while back, and a lot of people don't know, I've been doing this for a very long time. I've been speaking to men about them not being able to see their children, men who've been paying child support, who have been going back and forth to court, all paid up, trying to see their child, and the courts automatically side with the mom. Or I have another woman, actually, and I'm going to be putting these documentaries out, just little snippets and little portions, so you guys can see the type of work that I'm doing, and how she grown up with a father, without a father. Her mother lied to her, told her that her father didn't want her, and such and such and such, right? Lied to her about, your father never paid any child support, blah, blah, and blah. You know, when she reached the age of 26, she went on Facebook, found her father, spoke to her father, found out that her father wasn't a deadbeat, because her father was remarried, had a wife, children. He was paying child support for the 18 years that she was with the mama, but the mama lied. And ladies and gentlemen, he was kept away. And she was so heartbroken when she found out that was the case. And for almost all her life, 26 years, she didn't have a father, and she rolled around with the resentment of not being wanted by her father. Ladies and gentlemen, she rolled around with that feeling without any identity. And this is the main reason why I want to do this documentary, put it out there and show how, ladies and gentlemen, the liberals and the Democratic policies have forced fathers out of the home and out of the lives of children who need it the most, based upon, quote unquote, this liberal ideology, this feminist ideology, and this ideology that inherently creates division between men and women and destroys children's lives. So this is the main reason why this documentary is very important, and that we need to put it out there, because this is the heart and the soul of America, and it's family, ladies and gentlemen. Family is the heart and soul of America. So I need help with this documentary. If you have a story yourself, either your father was broken down by the system here in America, where he wasn't able to take care of you, he wasn't able to be with you because of what's going on, or if you're growing up without a father, you didn't know where he was at, or you grown up in impoverished situations based upon not having a father and how it impacted your life, I need to hear from you. I need to hear from you. Go ahead and write me. Send an inquiry to jermaine.bozio@gmail.com, ladies and gentlemen. jermaine.bozio@gmail.com. Send me an inquiry. Say that, hey, I want to be a part of your Fatherless Generation documentary. And just write me a little letter of the things that you went through, and, we'll talk. We'll see if, we can meet each other halfway here. All right. So just want to go ahead and point that out there. Make sure you guys go ahead and do that. You can donate either from my GoFundMe, or you guys can donate through PayPal. And a lot of people just decide to do it through PayPal because, GoFundMe takes, a lot of the money, not a lot, but just a certain percentage, and it's pretty high, 30 cents per donation, and then 2.95% platform fee that they also take when they withdraw it as well. So I just want to go ahead and point that out there. So if you feel better doing it on GoFundMe, go ahead and go for it. But most people are doing it through, gosh darn it, PayPal. All right. So just want to point that out there. Let's go ahead and get rocking with today's show, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys go ahead and share for me. All right. I know I did some running my mouth a little bit earlier, but ladies and gentlemen, it's important. Let me tell you, it's absolutely important. So my video here, the first one we're going to be playing here, ladies and gentlemen, got sent to me by a lot of folks. Okay. And this here video, it's a little bit of a fluffer before we get into today's show. Everybody who's a parent has probably had it up to here when it comes to a lot of the stuff that your children have, do to piss you off, right? Your children don't like to listen. Either you're at a Walmart or Target, or in this video's case, you're in an airport and your child acts silly, right? They don't want to walk. They're unincorrigible. They don't want to do anything you're saying. Now, this video here, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, has been being sent all across the land. And the way this father is handling his child, let me tell you, a lot of people said, you know what, I've been there too. So I want to go ahead and share this video with you guys. A little bit of a fluffer before we begin here. All right. So here we go. Look how the kid being dragged in the airport. I'm telling you, I've been there. Ladies and gentlemen, we gotta see it one more time. Haven't you been there? Your kid pissed you off to the max. I'm not going anywhere, right? And you said, like, screw it, I'm taking you, right? Ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and transfer back. But as you guys can see, yeah. What do you guys think, right? OMG, right? That is hilarious. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I've been there. My son Griffin, let me tell you, God bless his heart. And you guys, if you've been following me, you probably see my son Griffin. He's jumped in a couple of videos here, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you about my son Griffin. He does the exact same thing. Sometimes, you know, he'll have a fantastic day. Other times, you know, he might have woke up on the wrong side of the bed, let me tell you. And you know what happens, ladies and gentlemen? I don't want to do anything, Daddy. I literally got to carry this kid everywhere. Yeah, so I understand, ladies and gentlemen. It's absolutely fantastic. Ooh, we got another donation here. Let me see. My producer said Leslie Holker, thank you. As you guys can see here, another $25 here. You guys know how important this is. And Leslie, shout out to Leslie. She knows exactly how important this is. And she probably has seen me do this type of work, ladies and gentlemen. We need to get the information out there. So thank you, Leslie, for donating. But back to it, ladies and gentlemen. You see it, right? Man, oh man, I've been there plenty of times. And let me tell you, all I can say is kudos for that dad. Sometimes you got to do it. So let's go ahead and get rocking with today's show, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get rocking. Now, this clip here got sent to me by Teresa. Teresa's another supporter of this show. She also has donated earlier $30. So I want to go ahead and give Teresa a shout out for donating $30. And she also sent a video clip. Okay, when I first posted my my documentary, not my documentary, but my GoFundMe for my documentary, she donated, and then she went and sent me a video. Okay, and she said that in her letter, it says that, hey Jermaine, you're doing a fantastic job. Thank you for doing what you do. I have a video here that shows how what I'm not too sure about that word, but it basically shows how men act without a father. Now, ladies and gentlemen, and shout out to Leslie, this video here, ladies and gentlemen, is about how men, a lot of guys here in the inner city, harass women, especially if they don't have a father. I want you guys to check out these type of characteristics, and when it comes back, ladies and gentlemen, we will discuss a little bit further here on Conservative Nation. All right, so shout out to Teresa. All right, here we go. Now she's just trying to get to the gas station.
He's going pressure around this motherfucker. Bitch definitely gonna get sweated around this motherfucker. Yeah, bitch, you came with a circle full of pimps. Bitch, you finna get it too, ho. Oh, the bitch made it through. She made it through. She broke through the barrier. Hold on, ho.
And you see how they call her a bitch?
Pressure being applied around here.
Excuse my language. Now I want to stop here. Now people want to know why these men are doing this. I want to go ahead and show you guys the reason why. I want to actually tell you guys the reason why. The reason why these people here are acting like this is because they are grown with no home training. Okay, they're harassing her because, quote unquote, she looks good, right? She's a woman, she looks good. So they need to harass her like a pack of dogs, right? And a lot of women believe that this type of behavior is somehow cute, right? They don't see the danger of this type of behavior. And this, ladies and gentlemen, this pack of thugs, you see how their pants are dropped, right? So that they can show their underwear and stuff. This all stops when you have a father at home who will teach you how to really treat a woman, right? Because usually the father is showing respect to his wife, and that respect and that treatment to his wife in turn shows the son how he should treat a woman in his life. But if you don't have that, ladies and gentlemen, and if you have nothing but your mama and the little thug she's screwing in and out the house there, and then you got people in the streets, you're gonna get this type of behavior, acting like wild dogs, right?
Act like she never been called a bitch before, huh?
Smoking marijuana, look at smoking weed right there, smoking, looking at her butt and behind. This is what happens, look. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens. Now these are the fools that are reproducing, ladies and gentlemen, these thugs and criminals, right? You want to know why, ladies and gentlemen, why the inner cities are so bad? Because, ladies and gentlemen, and shout out to Teresa. Teresa, I didn't even know I was going to take it this way, but I'm going to take it this way. People want to know why the inner cities are so horrid. Is because the women will reproduce with these males here, right? They'll reproduce with these males. And these males, ladies and gentlemen, if you're standing next to a convenience store all day, right? You're standing there all day, you know you don't got a job. Flat out. You don't got a job. If you're dropping your pants so everybody can see the brand of your underwear, I know you don't got a job, right? And I know, let me tell you, that there's something wrong with you. But yet, ladies and gentlemen, these people will do what? They will reproduce with these clowns, and these are the type of men here who run away from their children, right? These are the type of men that are running away from their children. And what liberals
pressure around this motherfucker.
Liberals will clump all men together as if all men, in a sense, behave, act, and abandon their children like these fools here, right? Black women out there, right? You've lived a hard life. Black women out there, you lived a hard life of no companion, right? Nobody to help you with the children. You want to know why? Because you chose a thug, right? You chose a thug. Let me go ahead and say this again. Maybe I'm pissing off the right folks. You chose a thug, right? Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. You chose a thug. Because these men right here, I can tell you, are no good.
Bitch definitely gonna get sweated around this motherfucker. Yeah, bitch, you came with a circle full of pimps. Bitch, you finna get it too, ho. Oh, the bitch made it through. She made it through. She broke through the barrier. Hold on, ho. It's some pressure being applied around here. It's some real pimping though, bitch. Oh, the hoe act like she ain't never been called a bitch before, huh?
Man, we ain't worried about all that. If you come fuck with me, you ain't gotta worry about gas. He got you already. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what it is.
What's happening?
That's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's the main reason why this documentary needs to be finished and be put out. This is the main reason why children need a father in their life, right? That's the main reason why, ladies and gentlemen, children need a father in their life, because of this type of nonsense. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's go ahead and move on here. We got the sun beaming in here, but everything is all good. Let's go ahead and transition here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this next clip here I'm about to show you guys, okay, it comes from CBS News. Now, you know the people at CBS, they're nothing but liberals over there anyway, right? They just don't care about nothing, right? CBS News sat down with Vice President Pence, all right? And Pence is speaking about the wall. Now, I want people to pay attention and listen to this here, all right? He says some pretty good stuff in here, and the liberals are acting as if he says something wrong. So let's go ahead and run this clip. When it comes back, we will discuss it a little bit further here on Conservative Nation, all right? And make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button. For the people who want to donate to the documentary, put a clip link down below, so you guys should be able to find it, all right? Here we go.
To the Vice President of the United States, I should say, Mike Pence, met with Democratic leadership over the weekend as progress toward a border wall funding deal has stalled.
So here's some of Major's conversation with Mike Pence.
Vice President, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Major.
Will President Trump declare a national emergency tonight in his address to the nation?
When the President addresses the nation tonight, he'll be laying out the facts to the American people of what is a genuine humanitarian and security crisis at our southern border. Major, as we sit here today, nearly 60,000 people over the past several months have attempted to come into our country illegally, but for the first time, the predominant number are families and unaccompanied children, and it simply is overwhelming the ability of our Customs and Border Patrol to deal with it. Add to that human trafficking, the flow of narcotics, the apprehension in the last year of 17,000 individuals at our southern border with previous criminal histories, and the American people will hear from the President tonight that we have a crisis and we have to address it, and the time has come for the Democrats to come to the table and start negotiating, not just to end the partial government shutdown, but to address the humanitarian and security crisis at our southern border.
All too well, Mr. Vice President, the idea of this national emergency and going around the appropriations process is something the President has suggested. The country is waiting to find out. Has he made a determination? Is he going to use tonight's bully pulpit to say that?
Well, the President was asked if it was something he was considering, and he said it's something that we're looking at.
That was a few days ago.
But the fact is,
the legal review done here at the White House?
The Congress should do its job and come to the table. We spent the entire weekend in this room with senior aides for the Republican and Democrat leadership on Capitol Hill. We listened carefully to what their priorities were. What the President put forward is a reaffirmation of his determination to build a wall on the southern border, but the President said it could be a steel barrier, recognizing
you consider that a concession?
I think that there were many Democrats in the leadership meetings who expressed concern about concrete, and the President said we'll build a steel barrier. But the President also listened carefully to their priorities about additional humanitarian and medical resources, additional technology for screening at all of our ports of entry. We've incorporated those reforms, including legal reforms, and the proposal that we have on the table is a reflection of the President's priority to build a wall, to provide resources to Customs, Border Patrol, and Immigrations and Customs Enforcement. But our proposal also incorporates what we're hearing from the Democrats. But the fact is, what we heard over the course of this weekend is they're not even willing to negotiate until the President reopens the government. And
why won't he do that?
The American people deserve better than that. They deserve the Democrats to come back to the table, start negotiating, and we believe we can resolve this through the legislative process.
Why do you have to put them together? Why can't the rest of the government, unaffected by DHS, Department of Homeland Security funding, be funded and then deal with this issue separately?
Because we know you suckers won't do the right thing.
Must there be a partial government shutdown affecting all these agencies that have nothing to do with this underlying debate?
Well, really for two reasons. Number one is these are the bills that were remaining at the end of the year.
But you can separate them out. You did that when you were in the House. You know that.
Yeah, right. But the fact is, as we've also listened to Democrats, They're calling for changes in our ability to accept applications for asylum at our embassies in Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras. That would require a change in the State Department's appropriations bill. So what the president is saying is, let's resolve this issue with the crisis on the southern border. If there are other changes in other bills, let's make those changes. But the truth is, Major, you've been around Washington for a while. You know that we could resolve this in a matter of hours if the Democrats will come to the table and start negotiating in good faith. And the American people also deserve to know, on the very first day of this partial government shutdown, the president sent me to Capitol Hill to make a good faith offer that would have avoided the shutdown altogether. Now we're 3 weeks in, and tonight the American people, the president will take his case directly to the American people.
So Major Garrett joins us now from the White House. Major, you know, just that snippet was so interesting.
Let me go ahead and stop it right here. What do you guys think about this here? Well, now, everybody's saying, and the Democrats are saying, they will not negotiate until the government opens, right? So now they are playing with the lives of American citizens. And Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, right? They said that, hey, guess what? We put out a bill, and that will fund like all the rest of the agencies, and then we can just, talk about the border later, right? This is what they've been saying. Talk about the border later, ladies and gentlemen, right? And guess what? Later never comes. Later never comes. So now President Trump is like, you know what? Nothing. We're not going to do nothing. I'm prepared to have it shut down for a year until you guys come with a good bill that will fund a wall, not some sort of security measure or whatever linguistic manipulation term you want to come up with, but an actual physical barrier of a wall. Then the government will reopen. Now, they're trying to pull on everybody's heartstrings. Well, if you don't do that, see, Grandma won't get her Social Security check. We won't be able to put this in her right? But when Barack Obama had it shut down, right? Democrats weren't saying that. They weren't saying it at all. Right? Remember when Obama made the ploy where the media made a big deal about the federal parks not being open, right? And they blamed conservatives. Ooh, you guys are so evil. Yeah. See, the federal parks aren't open. You see these World War II vets? They need to come here. Ooh-wee, right? Remember that. These people, ladies and gentlemen, are hypocrites, let me tell you, and they're liars. Pence, he said the correct thing. It's a humanitarian effort of what's going on at the border right now, right? It's a humanitarian crisis because people are being trafficked across the border. As you guys know, I played a video, right? Remember when I played a video last week of some bed bugs? You guys remember the bed bugs, right? The people were hiding in the mattress, right? Jose and them, Pepe and them, they were hiding inside the mattress. And I'm saying, if America's passing bed bugs through the south of the border, they need to shut it down. Right? So we got a serious issue, ladies and gentlemen, here in America. A very serious issue. And the mainstream media, ladies and gentlemen, is not presenting it in that manner. The only crisis they see is, quote unquote, children dying because of their brain dead, retarded parents who are not taking care of them correctly, right? Those are the people that they're trying to make a crisis out of. So we need to start being smart about what we do financially and who we are supporting. And we need to support people who are going to be for American security, right? Who's going to make sure the wall is funded and who are going to stand on principle. Now, I seen a video who was done by my man not too long ago where he basically showed 10 reasons of why the wall needs to be built. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, he was spot on with a lot of the reasons. Everybody knows that this wall is a good thing. And anybody who's giving you a reason other than it being logical is retarded. And the liberals have no reason whatsoever right now. You guys all know this. They have no reason. Absolutely none. So they know that this is their last effort to get what we call the new Negroes in here, right? The old Negroes have learned and have grown up, and a lot of them are now starting to see the light. They need new Negroes to replace the ones that are running away from the Democratic Party. They need the new ones, the people who are low educated, who are low skilled, right? Who come from what we call communal societies, right? Where they share everything all the way down to the drawers and toothbrush in a lot of the cases, right? They come from countries like that, right? Where everybody eats from the same dish, right? In America, we'll say, ew, everybody eat from the same dish. Yes, they cook one meal, big ass plate, right? Everybody sits around the plate who's in the family. Those are the societies they come from. They come from a society where they don't have a house for every individual family member, right? Brother, 18, get a house. You go out, work, and get a place. They don't have that. A lot of their society, everybody has one house, and it's called a family house. Right? They even got it in Africa. Everybody stay in the gosh darn house. Right? This is the main reason why when you go to a lot of these ethnic communities here in America, let's say, the Mexicans or the Asians, right? Let's just start with those two, right? Jorge and them got 12 cars in the driveway, right? Grandmama, mama's mama lives there, right? Everybody lives there. 3 or 4 generations right in one home live there, right? So the way that we look at family life, the way that we even look at our society is different from those folks, ladies and gentlemen. And these Democrats understand that they can easily manipulate those people because they come from that type of society. But what they don't know is that that type of society and the way that they conduct their society is the reason why they are suffering. Nobody tells them that. People need to start waking up to what is going on, ladies and gentlemen, right? They need to. They only care about votes. Shout out to Robert Bertram. They only care about votes. So let's go ahead and move on. I got another video here for you guys. Now, if you guys don't know this or not, Senator Bernie Sanders is thinking about running again in 2020, right? Feel the burn, right? You had all these people coming out with Feel the Burn, and people having rap videos with Bernie Sanders and all this other stuff, right? I feel like Bernie Sanders, right? They got videos like that. Now, Bernie Sanders is in the news not for a video, but let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, he's on the news for what every liberal apparently right now is going down for, which is sexual harassment, right? The liberals promulgate the view that every man and every gosh darn conservative is a sexual harasser. But when you turn around and look at the liberal camp, let me tell you, sexual harassment is running rampant. Let me tell you, everywhere you look. So let me go ahead and play this video by Media Buzz from Fox News. And when it comes back, ladies and gentlemen, we will discuss a little bit further here on Conservative Nation. All right? All right, here we go. And make sure you guys go ahead, hit that like button, all right, and share for us. Only way we can get seen around here, all right? Here we go.
When Bernie Sanders ran for president last time, a number of female staffers complained about sexual harassment and were brushed off by their bosses. That, according to a New York Times investigation that said these allegations could dog the senator if, as expected, he runs again. Sanders did some damage control on CNN.
So I certainly apologize to any woman who felt that she was not treated appropriately. And of course, if I run, we will do better next time.
And just to be clear, you seem to indicate that you did not know at the time about the allegations. Is that correct?
Yes, I was a little bit busy running around the country trying to make the case.
Joining us now from Manchester, Paul Steinhauser, a New Hampshire political reporter and analyst. What's your take on the New York Times story, getting all these women on the record, and why is this piece running now?
You know, it's a great question, Howie. Why wasn't it running in 2016 when these allegations first surfaced? Well, you know, back in 2016, Bernie Sanders was a long shot for the presidency, and he didn't get the scrutiny back then that he's getting now. Times have changed, of course. Bernie Sanders, if he runs, and it's likely he will, he'll be one of the top contenders. He'll get a lot more media scrutiny. You kind of anticipated my next question, which is, I think a lot of the press were fascinated by Bernie doing better respect against Hillary, but I don't think he was ever really.
But that's the portion that I wanted to play. But I believe he is absolutely correct, ladies and gentlemen. He's running this time. A lot of press is going to be on him. He might be the front runner, right? So, hey, why don't he get it out of the way right now? Right? Get rid of the harassment out of the way. As you know, the liberals, when it comes to, you know, sexual harassment and sexual deviousness, if that is even a word, deviousness, right? They're very forgiving of their own people, right? They forgive them very quickly. He knows that. I know this. They don't really care as long as he can get it out, right? As long as he can push it out there. All the liberals got to say, you know what, Bow, he already addressed it. All right? We're not talking about it. That's the way liberals are. They will talk about your sexual harassment accusations all day long. When it comes to them, hey, we've already spoke about it. We dealt with it. Bow, let's move on. That's the way they are. So if I was in the Trump camp, or if I was a person advising Trump, I'd be making sure that I mark this down, right? Because you know they're going to try to hit you for it, right? We all know this. That is their go-to for Trump, right? Gosh darn it, he's a guy. He likes punani. Let's try to get him on sexual harassment, right? That's the way liberals think. Oh, you like that word punani? We got a lot of people. Oh, Jermaine, I started saying punani when you brought it up. I swear, I started saying punani. Right? But that's what they're saying. They're saying, hey, Trump likes punani. he's a heterosexual. Let's make sure we get him for harassment. See? Right? So they need to make sure they get this. But I want to know why the liberals haven't gone and tear off Mr. Bernie Sanders' head off. Right? They haven't torn it off yet. Why? And it's because, ladies and gentlemen, this notion of quote-unquote sexual harassment in the liberal party right now, the liberal camp, the Democrats, it's all a lie. It's a rouge, and they use it only for conservatives so that they can take them out. They know this. They know it because in most of the media and everything that liberals produce and they push out has to deal with sexual deviousness, has to do with sexual impropriety, has to do with things that go against what the norm is, and that's what they represent. So let me go ahead and move on here, ladies and gentlemen. I got another clip here for you guys. Make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button. We got a lot more people coming in here. All right, people weren't know, Jermaine, I didn't know that you came on during the day. Yeah, I come on during the day too now. Right, that's what we're doing. So let's go ahead and move on. Our next one up here, ladies and gentlemen, is making its rounds across the web here, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people are talking about this nonsense here. Right? A lot. I mean, listen, when I talk about everybody and their mama who are speaking about this, I'm saying everybody and their mama's mama. Right? Mama's mama. They all talking about this. And this is about a Tennessee judge that goes on a tirade about the violence among black men being more effective than the KKK. Now, all I want to say is thank the Lord to that white judge, let me tell you, because there's not too many judges on this side of heaven who will speak the truth. All right. And in this, it says black men are more dangerous to other black men than white Ku Klux Klan men has ever were. Montgomery County Judge Wayne Shelton told a man accused of murder this week. Shelton presided over the preliminary hearing of Vincent Brian Merriweather on Thursday, said he's sick and disheartened by what he hears and sees a lack of respect for human life, especially among young black men willing to shoot at one another for a little or no reason. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if that judge is sick, gosh darn it, I'm dead, because I'm sick and tired of seeing this happen, and then black men and black women and the blacks that are how can I say are brainwashed will come up and fix their lips and say, you know what, I believe the white man is to blame. Right? That's what they'll say. So let me go ahead and run this clip, and when it comes back, ladies and gentlemen, we will discuss it a little bit further here on Conservative Nation. All right, here we go.
I'm tired of seeing black men shooting at each other in this community, in this nation. I don't understand it. I grew up in a time when people wore white robes and they shot at black people. And now we see young black men wearing black hoodies shooting at black men and doing a much more effective job than the Klan ever thought about doing. I'm sick of it. Of course, the only thing I can do is shout it from here. No one seems to listen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. What do you guys think about that? Right? What do you guys think? He's absolutely correct. Did he tell a lie? I want to know, ladies and gentlemen, did he tell a lie? Here's another issue amongst the community, right? And especially the black community. Black on black crime. Blacks killing blacks like the Wild Wild West, let me tell you. They want to blame the white man. They want to blame everybody else. But let me tell you who they should blame. They should blame themselves. Black Americans, black people, blacks in general. Look, you gotta blame yourself. Yourself. Because the children are not being raised correctly. This is a cultural issue that everybody needs to start talking about. Any black person who will say, you know what, white people kill themselves too. And when they start talking like that, you have a retarded black on your hands. When you start talking about the issue of black on black crime and how it's devastating and ruining communities, and if you got a black person that immediately says, you know what, white people do it too, you got a brain dead black right next to you. You got a retarded one. Just want to point that out. Because nobody's talking about white on white crime. Proportionately, it's not as high. When we talk about figures and proportion, and you idiots out there, I know you didn't do well in math, right? So you don't know about percentages and proportions and all that type of jazz. I understand you don't know. But gosh darn, you got to learn it sometime, right? So don't hit me up saying, oh, well, white people do it too, Jermaine. You know what, there's white on white crime, Jermaine. White people shoot each other too. You know what? White people aren't crying. The majority of whites aren't crying about it. Black Americans, they crying about black on black crime. Black on black crime is high. Right? It's very high. And it's a cultural problem, and this judge sees it. He's disheartening. It's disheartening to him to see this crap. When blacks in the past were crying about racism, the Klan, no. Social programming has done way more than the Klan could ever do in terms of destroying black Americans' lives and killing black people. The average black person nowadays, their brain is gone. I hate saying it, but it is. It's gone. Because most of the time, they're believing in things that are not true. Based upon this fallacy, this fake notion of racism. It's insane. And most people here won't be honest enough to tell the truth. All you got to do, ladies and gentlemen, is look at the cities a lot of these black Americans live in. Man, I didn't even know I was going to go down this route, ladies and gentlemen. Didn't even know it. The Lord is with me today, let me tell you. Right? All you got to do is look at all the inner cities where it's mostly black Americans. Right? All we got to do is use common sense. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. I tell people this all the time. You don't have to be that smart. All you got to do is put 2 and 2 together. Right? 1 plus 1. Now, if you look at the majority of inner cities that have a high population of black Americans, you could go ahead and look at the crime rate of that city, and let me tell you, it's high. It's through the roof. Right? What are the things that you're going to see? The white man has nothing to do with it. Because there's nothing but black key and white liberals around there. You're going to see out of wedlock birth rate. So you're going to see a high proportion of black women who are able to, and this is a cultural problem, able to have baby after baby after baby after baby after baby without being checked. Right? Nobody will say, you know what, LaQuisha, that fourth child you have with no father around, I mean, don't you think that'll be kind of hard? I mean, especially if it's just you and you're just living on the money we give you. Don't you think that'll be hard and be able to take care of all those children? Don't you think it'll be kind of hard, LaQuisha? No, nobody says that to her, right? They'll allow her to keep having child after child after child after child. So we have that problem right then and there, right? We have a safety net that does not care about, quote unquote, the person. Because what they do, what that safety net is doing, and that safety net is that welfare, right? Right? People say, oh, well, we need it for the children. No, what you're doing is you're putting the person most of the time in more deep down the trenches of destruction, right? Because they say, oh, well, I have a kid. I have the government to take care of me, so I'll be able to provide a house and everything. No, you don't provide it, but the government does. That's where the key is, right? So they go ahead and say, you know what, I'll go ahead and do it. They end up doing it. It lowers the ambition of most women, so that ambition for them to go out and get a job, for them to be successful, to live out their own personal goals, ambitions, and dreams is hampered by it. Because if they work too much, they will cut the money underneath them, right? So essentially put them back in the same position that they were in. So they end up playing what we call the requirement game. You guys know what the requirement game is, right? Where you're only supposed to work a certain level so that you can receive the benefits, because you know that if you work too much, they'll cut it from you and then you'll have nothing. That's the way they get people. That's the way they get you. They don't tell you up front because they know you're retarded. They're not going to tell you up front. You only find it through when you're gone through the system. The system doesn't tell you up front, hey, you know what? We're going to screw up your life. Yup. Go ahead and have that baby. Yeah, screw him, right? We're going to put him on child support, ruin his life too, right? We're going to ruin his life. We're going to ruin your life. And your child life identity screwed up too. Don't worry about that though. We're not going to tell you up front. We're going to say, hey, we got these services here for you, right? That's the way the devil works. So people need to be absolutely responsible with their life. And for us to do that, we need to be honest, ladies and gentlemen. So kudos to this judge for understanding what is going on in this society and be able to point it out. And I beg and implore more people to be like that. Everybody knows what's going on in the black community. Everybody, the cat, the dogs, the tree bark, gosh darn it, the ant, the little molecules of hydrogen that are in the air, gosh darn everything, except for the black American who was raised by his mama. And that's the honest to God truth. And a lot of them actually do know what the truth is too, but most of them don't. So kudos. Let's go ahead and move on. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I got this clip here from my good friend Anthony Allen. As you guys know, Anthony Allen is a contributor on this show. I have him on Fridays, and sometimes he comes on with me when I call him. He's a good guy. And he posted this video here, and to me it's quite disturbing, ladies and gentlemen. Quite disturbing. Make sure you guys go ahead and share this for me, all right? Don't treat me like a side chick. Don't treat me like a redheaded stepchild. Gosh darn it, don't do it to me. Don't you do it, all right? Make sure you guys go ahead and share for me. Do me a solid. Share, all right? Now, this video here, ladies and gentlemen, is about Planned Parenthood, right? We've been speaking about Planned Parenthood for a very long time now, ladies and gentlemen. And one thing I want to tell you about Planned Parenthood is that Planned Parenthood is put here to destroy people. Point blank, period. That is their mission. I don't care what whatever they say, right? They want to say, oh, we're here for women's rights. We're here to help women's reproductive medical issues, and we're here and like we're really here to help, right? They're always here to help, but they never help correctly. So let me go ahead and run this clip here. This is about Planned Parenthood, where a guy calls in to Planned Parenthood, and he wants to make a donation specifically for the destruction of the black baby. Absolutely reprehensible. Let's go ahead and run this when it comes back. You guys already know what the deal is here on Conservative Nation, right? Absolutely. Here we go. Hold on.
Good afternoon, this is Autumn.
Hello, Autumn. I'm interested in making a donation today.
Fantastic.
What about abortions for the underprivileged minority groups? I want to specify that abortion to help a minority group. Would that be possible? Like the black community, for example?
Certainly.
Okay. So the abortion could be, I could give money specifically for a black baby. That'd be the purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. If you wanted to designate that you wanted your gift to be used to help an African-American woman in need, then we would certainly make sure that gift was earmarked specifically for that purpose.
Great, because I really face trouble with affirmative action, and I don't want my kids being disadvantaged, against black kids. I just had a baby. I want to put it in his name, so that's definitely possible.
Oh, always, always.
And we just think, the less black kids out there, the better.
Understandable. All right. Excuse my hesitation. This is the first time I've had a donor call and make this kind of request, so I'm excited, and I want to make sure I don't leave anything out. Hello, this is Irene.
Hi, I'm interested in making a donation. I'd like to fund one abortion.
Okay.
I was wondering if that would be possible.
Yes, we can definitely put that.
Can I make the donation specifically for a minority group?
Like a specific group of color, or like a group of...
I mean, I want the abortion to be for an African-American baby.
Okay.
And I was wondering if that could be possible.
The exact amount we charge right now is $450 for an abortion.
Okay, $450.
And we can definitely designate it for an African-American.
Wonderful. If I wanted to help fund multiple abortions, could you also specify that this could be done for a specific group? Great. Well, I'm really excited, because I really face trouble with affirmative action. And I don't want my kids to be disadvantaged, against blacks in college, and the less blacks out there, the better. So.
Yeah, it's a strange time for sure.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Thank you so much, and you'll receive the check in a few days.
Hello, this is Sue. May I help you?
Hi, Sue. I'm interested in making a donation.
Great.
So, would it be possible for me to donate that money specifically for these minority groups so that they could have access to abortions?
Yes, it would be.
Wonderful. And could I specify that abortion be done, or those abortions be done for a particular minority group, or how does that work?
If you wish, you can.
Okay. So for example, the black community in Tulsa, would it be possible to give the money specifically for that?
You sure can.
Wonderful. Great. The abortions will be done specifically for the black community abortions.
I will mark it in such a way that definitely it will.
On a black baby?
Yes.
Thank you. Great.
Okay.
So can I give you my credit card number?
Yes.
Planned Parenthood Administration, this is Lisa.
And who am I speaking with now?
My name is Lisa Hutton.
Lisa Hutton. What's your position?
Administrative Assistant.
Okay. When I underwrite abortion, does that apply to minorities too?
If you specifically want it to underwrite an abortion for a minority person, you can target it that way. You can specify that that's how you want it spent.
Okay, yeah, because there's definitely way too many black people in Ohio, so I'm just trying to do my part.
Okay, whatever.
Well, blacks especially need abortions, too. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Well, for whatever reason, we'll accept the money.
So right now, ladies and gentlemen, 871 babies are being aborted a day, black babies, from Planned Parenthood. Right? Democrats say they're all about children, right? We're for the children. Well, they fund basically abortion mill that's killing black babies every day. Right? And what got me, ladies and gentlemen, is when the guy said, you know what? I want to go ahead and specifically put down a donation so that a black woman will be able to use it. And he says because affirmative action is taken away, too many opportunities from, quote unquote, the white community. And you didn't hear anything from that, right? Now, you would think that these people would have, quote unquote, a heart, a soul, a conscience, right? To say, you know what, and if you're quote unquote doing it for good, right? We only care about women's rights, and you're doing it for good. You will have a conscience with accepting money from a person primarily because they dislike black Americans to the point where they want you to abort any more black babies. You would think that, consciousness or something would step in, the people that were on the phone, but nothing, absolutely nothing. And it gets back to my point when I say that there's about 26% of the population around the world who are psychopathic in nature. They don't have a conscience. Because the only way for me to believe that a person can be in that type of position at Planned Parenthood would be without a conscience. Because if you have a conscience, even if you don't believe in God, right? But you believe in just the human decency of just life in general and in the right to life, you wouldn't be working at Planned Parenthood. You just wouldn't. So it blows my mind when I hear people who are so adamant on what they believe when it comes to quote unquote children. And then when you start speaking about abortion, all of a sudden how strong of opinion they had starts changing a bit. Well, I don't know. I believe it's a woman's right. Right? They were all for the children until you bring up abortion and it's for the woman's right. Right? So people need to be honest. They got to be, informed about what is going on. They just have to. Insane. Let's go ahead and move on. I got another clip here, ladies and gentlemen. another clip here. Now, this is about Rashida Tlaib, right? Like she hasn't been on the news already. She's on the news again, ladies and gentlemen. And she's on the news because she is speaking to children, right, about impeaching President Trump. Now, everybody has been shooting me this video. They want to know what I think about it. I want to go ahead and play this clip here for you guys. It's a quick 30 seconds. And when it comes back, we will discuss a little bit further here on Conservative Nation. Make sure you guys go ahead and share for me, all right? Do me a solid. All right? Share, share, share. All right? So here we go.
Hi, everyone. This is Salma and Bisan. And they came up to me and said, can I get rid of Trump? Isn't that right?
Yes.
And I said, I sure can. Because now I'm going to be a United States Congress member.
Yes.
Do you know what impeachment means? Right? I taught them what impeachment means. So you guys think that he should be gone?
Yes.
Why?
Because he's the worst president ever.
See? You hear that?
Don't
you hear
even
that,
know
America?
what they talking about. He's
Even
the
these
worst.
kids get it. So I can't wait. This is going to be fun.
You see that, ladies and gentlemen? Indoctrination at its finest, right? The children don't know anything about Donald Trump. All they know is he's the worst, right? How come you guys don't like Donald Trump, right? He's the worst. I mean, he's the worst, right? And a critical question would be, so how is he the worst? What specific legislations has he put out that you would deem the worst, right? But yet they give nothing. All it is an emotional ploy. All it is an emotional ploy. And liberals do this all the time. They think it's cute, right? They love doing this crap here. I want to go ahead and play for you one more time here, so people can see this. Yeah, everybody's playing it.
Hi, everyone. This is Salma and Bisan. And they came up to me and said, can I get rid of Trump? Isn't that right?
Yes.
And I said, I sure can. Because now I'm going to be a United States Congress member.
Yes.
Do you know what impeachment means? Right? I taught them what impeachment means. So you guys think that he should be gone?
Yes.
Why?
Because he's the worst president ever.
See? You hear that? You hear that, America? Even these kids get it.
Right?
I can't wait. This
right?
is going to be fun.
Even these kids get it. You hear that, America? You hear that? You see how brain dead and retarded our children are, America? Even our children get it. Right? What do the children get? Lies and manipulation? I want to know. Right? Even the children get yuck, right? I don't know what they're getting, except for lies and manipulation. And what going on with these folks, ladies and gentlemen, they don't do the due diligence of telling these people the reason why he is bad, right? And of course, they're playing the race card. Shout out to Robert Bertram. Robert Bertram says they're playing the race card. Of course they are, Robert. They're going to play the race card. White people in 2019, they try to get rid of you. He's a racist. How did we get to a point in this country where caring for your own people means that you're a racist? How did we get to a point in this country where we elect people to Congress who hate this country, who swear to serve this country on a Quran, on principles that are not even conducive or compatible with our U.S. Constitution? How did we get to a point, like this. How did we allow the enemy to come in and basically hide in plain sight? And if you don't like me calling Rashida Tlaib a gosh darn criminal and a person who's destroying this country, hit the door. If you don't like me calling her an enemy, hit the door. I see some people on Periscope acting funny. You don't like what I'm saying about Rashida Tlaib, of me calling her an enemy in plain sight, who's against our U.S. Constitution, who is against securing American citizens, and who is against our president. Hit the door. Because I won't miss ya. Hit the door. So, ladies and gentlemen, these people here, let me tell you, they're hiding in plain sight. Imagine you going to China, right? This will never happen in any other country on this side of heaven, except for the country, except for this country, where you can go to a country, you will have a different faith from the countrymen there. The people of a different faith, majority of them will vote you into office, right? You will swear to uphold and serve that country using a different religion that is entirely, quote unquote, different when it comes to principles and human treatment than the society that you're in. Advocate for the impeachment and the destruction of the laws of that country, and nobody not say a gosh darn thing, right? And nobody take your ass out to the woodshed. This is the only country, and I should take that back. I believe Western countries have to deal with this, which is the PC crap, right? I don't know, whoever came up with this political correctness crap, let me tell you, they came up with a mind control and a way to control the masses. Let me tell you, you control the masses through language. And the best way to control the masses is for you to be the quote unquote the arbiter of the morality of that language, right? That's what the liberals claim to be. That's what they claim to be. They deem what is quote unquote appropriate to say and what is not. And these are the fools, ladies and gentlemen, they're allowing people like Rashida Tlaib and them to come in here. Because of our lack of what I call real compassion. We don't have real compassion in this country. Because if we did, we wouldn't allow a lot of this crap to go on. We have what we call fake compassion. Right? Fake compassion. Because if we had real compassion, instead of people worried about illegals, we'll be worried about our homeless vets, the people who served for our country, right? People who served our country, our countrymen. They would be taken care of, but they're not. Because we have fake compassion. We don't care. And until we get to that notion where we honestly decide to say that as a nation, you know, we just don't care. Yeah, we don't. There's a section of the population that does care, but the majority don't. So that's why I love this president. And people who are against him, like Rashida Tlaib, people who do not serve the best interest of our country, that's why I'm against these people. And if you're going to come into our country that has afforded you that freedom for you to say what you feel and what you want all the time, for you to sit there and be able to, you know, practice your religion in freedom, right? For you to have the ability to provide for your family, and then you turn your back on the country like a snake, like a dog, like a ravenous demon, and they come out and say, you know what? We need to eliminate the president. Do you know what impeachment is? We need to get rid of ICE. We need to get rid of this. We need to get rid of the money. When you start doing that, it's time. So, ladies and gentlemen, we need to be honest and we need to be smart about the people we allow to come into this country and the people who are elected into positions that have ultimately, you know, the decision to govern us. We need to be able to be smart enough for that. So let's go ahead and move on. I'm tired of talking about Rashida Tlaib. I'm tired of these liberals trying to chase me down because they don't like what I'm saying. I can't believe you said she's an enemy, Jermaine. How can you say that, Jermaine? You said that she's an enemy, Jermaine. How can you say that? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you, Jermaine? What's wrong? Right? All day crying, writing me notes, telling me how bad I am. Don't you liberals get tired? You pro-blacks out there, right? Don't you get tired?
44%.
Jermaine, those white people are paying you. Jermaine, those white people are paying you. Don't you get tired of just, you know, just talking real bad about black people and getting paid for it, Jermaine? Aren't you tired of tap dancing for the white man up there? Aren't you, right? Pro-blacks, aren't you tired of using the same old dumb rhetoric? Aren't you tired? I want to know, aren't you tired? Because I'm tired of listening. That's all you guys do. You guys don't say nothing that is quite good. So, ladies and gentlemen, our next video up here that I want to show you guys comes from CNN. Now, our racist in chief over there, Don Lemon, goes after Kevin Hart. Now, Kevin Hart has been in the news for the past 2 or 3 weeks because he dropped out from being, you know, the what do you call that? The MC of the Oscars. Now, it was his dream and to be the MC, to host the Oscars. And what happened was that some Vulture magazine, I believe it's a reporter or editor, they went back 9 or 10 years ago to find tweets and old stand-ups of him speaking about the gay community, right? Making gay jokes and references. Now, since then, he has apologized for it, and he's been getting hell ever since. Now, for you people who are out there who are saying, well, he should apologize. He needs to apologize, right? I want to let you guys know that this here does not just stop with Kevin Hart. This is for everybody in our nation, in the Western world. When something like this happens, and this to me is absolutely nonsense, it will happen to the rest of us. So I'm very concerned about this type of BS. So let me go ahead and run this clip here about Don freaking Lemon being a girl, and I'll jump in here and there, and when it comes back we'll finish it and discuss a little bit further here on Conservative Nation. All right, here we go.
Can we talk? Remember that? A comedian used to say that. Joan Rivers used to say it. And the reason I'm saying it is because we want to talk about another comedian, Kevin Hart. So this is something that's important to me. So can we talk about Kevin Hart? And it's important to me, it's important to the LGBT community, and it's important to the black community. And I am a proud member of both. So I feel obligated to speak out on this issue. I see problems that need solving and they need to be addressed, and conversations that we need to have. And I have to start with what has been.
So let me stop it right here for people who are not knowing what this idiot is saying. So basically, he's saying that he wants to be able to give you guys the information to make black folks accept homosexuality. Okay, as you guys know, he's gonna say this: the black community is homophobic and blah 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 blah. No, the black community in the beginning, let me tell you, had what we call morals, right? They had morals. A lot of the funk and the stuff, the craziness of what liberals are doing, they weren't for it. It was until the father got kicked out of the home by the social programs promulgated and pushed by liberals is the reason why the majority of the black community nowadays have accepted homosexuality, because the leadership in the home has dwindled down to a gosh darn visit, basically. So people need to be honest about what's going on. Let me go ahead and play a little bit further.
Going on with Kevin Hart. He stepped down from hosting the Oscars last month after tweets from 2009 and 2011 resurfaced with derogatory language, referring to gay people and disparaging comments about sexuality. But it's not just tweets. Hart used to talk about making sure that his son wasn't gay in his stand-up routine. Watch this.
Every kid has a gay moment, okay? Every kid. But when it happens, you gotta nip it in the bud. You gotta stop it right then. Hey, stop! That's gay! I turned back around to check on my son again. A little boy was grinding on my son's ass. He was like this. I didn't know what to do. I panicked. I knocked them both down. Hey.
So, and here's Hart telling his side of the story to Ellen.
The next morning, after a day full of congratulations and celebrations, I'm hit with an onslaught on social media of my past coming back up again. Literally the next morning. Not even a full 24 hours to glow in the glory of Kevin Hart is hosting this year's Oscars. And when it happened, you know, my first thought is I'm gonna ignore it. I'm gonna ignore it because it's 10 years old. This is stuff I've addressed. I've talked about this. This isn't new. I've addressed it.
All right, so let's walk through that. Kevin Hart did put out a Twitter apology after he stepped down from hosting the Oscars.
Now,
Kevin said that he
right here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this here to me has gone on long enough. Kevin Hart, he should never have apologized. This is the main reason why I tell people in liberal land, once you make a stand and you know you're right, you don't make any apologies, because what the liberals will do is they'll keep running your apologies against you and trying to make you out to be a bad person. You know, this type of nonsense where because he said a joke 9-10 years ago, all of a sudden he's a bad guy, right? And he should lose out on an opportunity for a job is absolutely ridiculous. And this shows you the power of the gay mafia. Now, what he is doing, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I'm playing this clip here, and I don't really like Don Lemon like that, I'm pointing that out, is because he's making the case that black Americans need to accept homosexuality. This is what he's making the case about. And the only reason why the black community right now is in the shambles that it's in is because of the lack of fathers in the home and the lack of truth and masculinity. It's absolutely gone. It's ran by women, and it's ran by people like Don Lemon who hate their daddy. Now, I want to go ahead and scoot up here for a quick second here because I want you guys to hear this idiot and what he's about to say. All right, so we're going to skip up here and let's let it run.
And someone like Kevin Hart, with one of the biggest megaphones in the world, can be a leader, the ultimate change agent. He can help change homophobia in the black community, something Kevin's old Twitter jokes addressed, but in the wrong way. So take the tweet where he said that he would break.
So right now he's trying to tell Kevin Hart that he should try to change, quote unquote, homophobia in the black community, right? Now, people like, quote, you know, Don, you know, Fudge Packer Lemon. What these people don't do, they won't tell you the actual, and this is what I always say, the actual benefit of being homosexual, right? Because a lot of the cases here, especially in 2019, it's a fad. You know what a fad is out there, ladies and gentlemen, and you dumb retarded liberals out there? It means it's a trend, right? People do it because they think it's cool, right? It's trendy to do it. And this whole gay thing that's going on, that all of a sudden everybody's gosh darn gay, it's a trend. And let me tell you, trends die. And this here is going to die. And what he is doing is that he's trying to force a black American who's not into that lifestyle for him to use his voice to promote that lifestyle. How evil is that? Right? How evil is that? Because Don Fudge Packer Lemon will never, ladies and gentlemen, he will never promote conservative values. He will never promote traditional family values. But he will promote gay values in a heartbeat.
Break a dollhouse over his son's head if he found him playing with it. He said that's gay. That was a joke to Kevin. But the truth is, that is a reality for many little boys in the United States. Somewhere, a black dad is beating his black son, the same way it happened to my friend, Oscar-nominated director Lee Daniels. And
then this is where we
who
are
through
gonna
his
end
TV
it,
show
ladies and
Empire
gentlemen.
portrayed.
We will end it right here. Now, he's trying to make an emotional plea to the black community out there, because he knows that blacks, you can trick them by emotion. You can trick blacks and women by emotion. Right? Don't use any logic. Just appeal to their emotional side, gosh darn it, and you'll be able to get them eating out of the palm of your hand. You start talking about logic, you lose them, right? But if you want blacks and women to go along with hell, gosh darn it, you got to appeal to their emotional side. And he knows exactly how to do it, right? He's going to bring up discrimination, because when you hit up discrimination in the black membrane, it resorts back, right? It hits that little patch there that screams racism. And to me, he should not be doing that at all. He shouldn't be doing that at all. Homosexuality has never been pushed by black Americans. And black Americans need to start waking up. You already have the father out of the home. Now you're going to accept homosexuality in a sense where it will destroy your community, or the community that, quote unquote, you do have left. Black Americans, you better start waking up. Now, I'm not saying anything is, you know, if you're a homosexual, you're a bad person and blah, blah, blah. Don't try to take that out of context. Right? You lived your lifestyle, that's fine and dandy. I don't have a problem with you. I don't at all. I have a problem of what we call radical homosexuals. Right? Back in the day, homosexuals weren't that radical, right? It was their thing, you know, hey, you know, I like guys, I like blah, blah, blah. That was it. They kept it personal, right? They weren't out there dancing with spaghetti tops and nipple tassels trying to get everybody to be gay. They weren't doing that. And that's what I call the radical homosexual. The radical homosexual, what they do is they try to convince everybody to be gay. If you quote unquote don't like their lifestyle, there's something wrong with you, right? They try to basically flamboyant everything, right? Try to turn everything gay, right? This notion of like you know, gay men acting like women, this recently, not too recently, started happening. Gay men in the past, from what I've been told from my father and older folks, that they weren't sissies like that. Their ass wasn't tooted up in the air, right? They weren't your normal 2019 gay guy that's super flamboyant. They weren't like that. These are what I call radical homosexuals, to the point where you're flaunting your sexuality on everybody else. And when you start doing that, a lot of people have a quote unquote problem with that. A lot of people do, especially when it's not normal. Jermaine, what do you know that is normal? Jermaine, what do you think that is normal? You don't know anything that is normal, Jermaine. You don't know anything that is normal. Well, I ask people, well, is 3% or less than 3% of the population, would you consider that normal? Right? Would you consider a population of 100% of people and only 3% or less than 3% do a certain activity? Would you consider that to be normal of the 100%? Of the majority, would you consider that to be normal? In a sane world, you would say, nope, right? You wouldn't consider that to be normal. And I don't consider it to be normal, and nobody else should either. So you can get mad at me all you want, right? Get mad at me all you want. Destroy my logic. That's all I ask. Destroy my logic. Tell me that my logic is wrong. Tell me where there's a screw loose. I want to know. Insane. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our show, our morning show. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out with me. And ladies and gentlemen, for the people who want to know, I am putting on a documentary. I need your guys' help, okay? A fatherless generation documentary. I'm speaking to men and women across this world, well, across this nation, actually. And we are speaking about, ladies and gentlemen, how not having a father in their life has impacted their, everything that is going on with them. We speaking to people already. We got interviews done already. I need you guys' help. I need $20,000. Where we have about $5,055. We had some people donate during the show, ladies and gentlemen. Help me. I need your guys' help with this documentary. Let me go ahead and transition here last time here. And it's a fatherless generation documentary. This documentary will show the struggles of many families across America who suffer from not having a father in the home. It will show how the legislation promoted and endorsed by the Democratic Party forces fathers out of the home, creates division between parents, and destroys children's lives and funds a system that keeps people in bondage. The funds will be used to buy equipment, travel expenses, video editing, sound editing programs, photo software, website, and contractors to make sure that we can finish this movie, ladies and gentlemen. So help me bring this information in this movie to the people that need it the most, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what it is. All right. As you guys see, we already got 5,055. We're already in the kit, right? I need you guys' help so that we can finish this documentary, so that we can get it out to the people who need it the most. And we want to also, ladies and gentlemen, we want to affect new legislation that is coming out. Now, as you guys know, I was recently at the White House about 2 months ago, spoke with Trump, spoke with gosh darn Ben Carson, right? I told you that things are going to get reformed. The welfare system is getting reformed. I want to be able to make sure that people who are on the front lines of reforming really understand, ladies and gentlemen, what is happening here in America when we get rid of the fathers in the home, and how this legislation in the past has contributed to the prison systems that we the people locked up in prison, the people who are, you know, trapped doing drugs, and the millions of children who are growing up without a father in the home. We need to expose that, and we need to expose the system that is supporting it. And that system, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of it comes from the court system and our social welfare system, right? Family law that makes 66 cents on the dollar for every eligible child support service. Make sure you guys go. You don't believe me, right? I'm black, I'm a liar. Don't believe me. Go look it up, right? 66 cents on the gosh darn, for 66 cents on the dollar for every eligible child support service, ladies and gentlemen. So while they're destroying families, they're making money in the whole deal, right? For you to go and get your little food stamp, your little food stamp, right? For you to get into that Section 8 housing, let me tell you, you're going to destroy your life. And I want people to understand that, because it's more than just the money. It's more than just the help and the money. We need to be able to show people that when you do this, these are what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. I'm not talking about the money aspect where you're going to collect money from the government, right? You're going to collect the little crappy money to destroy your life. I want to show people how it will destroy your life without a liberal idiot lying. So this is the main reason why I'm doing this show, ladies and gentlemen. I need your help. And as you can see, people are behind this show and who are behind me, so much so that we got 5,000 right out the gate. I need your help. So help me help people who need it. Plenty of people, millions of folks growing up without a father. Why? Let's stop it and let's bring children back to their fathers. So thank you for joining me today here on Conservative Nation. Early morning edition, well, afternoon edition now. All right, I'll be doing another show tonight. Make sure you guys look for it, 7 p.m. Central. All right, I don't know where you're at on your time zones, but all I know, 7 p.m. Central, we're here, and we're going to be banging out some more stuff. So follow me, hit that like button, and make sure you guys help me donate. Make sure that we can help people with this. All right? So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me in this early edition of Conservative Nation. I'll catch you guys here tonight, 7 p.m. Central. Mark it down, set a time, and we'll be together once again. All right? You guys take care. I'll catch you later. Peace.